Hello, Feuzion. My name is Alex Fuse, the host of Fusion News. Today is March 21st, 2017, and it's going to be a great show for you. Second show of today. I am on the phone right now with professional wrestler Alex Chamberlain. So, Alex, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, of course. So, we were talking before the show, and you've been wrestling for a few different promotions right now. Can you talk a little about the promotions you are wrestling for? I know you're on an independent contract. So, how has, the wrestling been for you over the past few months?
For the best month, man, 2017 shaping up to be a pretty good year so far. I've had the opportunity to travel out to China for wrestling opportunity out there. That was definitely the coolest thing I've done so far in my career. Right now, I'm primarily working out of Miami and South Florida area, and Las Vegas for Paragon Pro Wrestling. And in South Florida, it's mostly Ronin Pro Wrestling and FEW, which is Future Evolution Wrestling, which is based out of Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, so a lot of people say professional wrestling is fake or easy to do. What would you say? Is it easy?
I wouldn't say it's easy, man. I mean, I grew up in sports my whole life. I played football all my life. I wrestled amateur, played baseball. I did boxing, taekwondo. I've done all like your combat sports. The thing with wrestling that people misconceive is that it's not a sport. That's the first thing I tell people. It's combat sports entertainment. It's theater. You're an action star. You're a stunt man. You're a performer. But there's a lot of physical effort. I mean, you're picking up guys that can range anywhere from 150 pounds. I've been in the ring with a guy who's 550 pounds. And when you have to handle that kind of weight, I mean, it takes a lot of athleticism. Yeah. Plus, I mean, you're throwing your body around, you're constantly running, and you're going full tilt with no breaks for anywhere from 5 minutes to 90 minutes, depending on how long your matches are going. Yeah. So, I mean, physically, it's very, very demanding. It's the most demanding thing I've ever done. I can easily say that. Everything I've any sport I've ever played.
So, yeah. So, would you say the hardest part of professional wrestling was the physical demand of the sport?
Yeah, because I mean, it really requires the conditioning, but you also have to have your wits about you too. You have to be able to think on your feet because you're working with an opponent and their life is in your hands. And you can't be tired. You can't, for lack of a better word, drag your feet because that's how people can end up, crippled or maimed. If you pick up someone, you drop them on their head or the back of their neck. I mean, they're done or you're done. You know what I mean? So mistakes get you hurt. So you have to stay in, a really good physical shape and have, good strength training and good cardiovascular conditioning for sure.
Yeah. Now, one of the best aspects of the business that I really love is the promo, the art of the promo. So what would you say the hardest part of making a promo is?
I love promos. That's probably one of my favorite things. I love the that's really where like I like to have fun, and it used to be a huge weakness of mine. I honestly think the hardest part about the promo is what are called the static promos. It's the one where they put a camera in front of you in the back room and they're just like talk. I don't like that. Doesn't feel natural because there's really no outside of a job interview, which if you've ever had one, they're uncomfortable. You never know what to say. You never know you never know really how to talk in that environment because there's not too many times you do that. I prefer to be in the ring in front of a live audience and just feel and just naturally just go and talk on how I think they're going to react. But I think the backstage promos are the hardest ones to do.
Yeah, and do you watch any wrestling on TV like WWE or TNA or Ring of Honor?
Oh yeah, I watch anytime wrestling's on TV. Apps like the Fight app, which is one of the apps that I perform on for television for syndication. YouTube. I mean, I watch everything. I watch, TNA, WWE, Ring of Honor, New Japan, independent wrestling like PWG. Anything I can get my hands on, I'll watch it.
Yeah,
to be learning.
Yep. And if you could step into a ring with anyone, who would it be and why?
Triple H. I've modeled my whole, the whole way I wrestle. Look, even the way I get in the ring, and he just was my favorite growing up. I was a huge fan of his. I just like the way his intensity, the way he wrestled. He never had a bad match with anybody. And he was always that dude who could always have a main event with anyone. He'd be a guy that I would absolutely love to get in the ring with.
Yeah, I would too if I was a wrestler. And do you have a favorite move that you like to use?
My favorite move is probably the one I use for what we call the finish. It's the DDT. That's definitely my favorite one. I just like the way I do it. It feels cool doing it. It's a good, easy movement that you can do to anybody, and if done right, man, you get the right kind of audience reaction. It's cool to get it.
Now, of course, in professional wrestling, you have heels and baby faces, of course, the bad guys and the good guys. Do you have a favorite that you like to be?
I do prefer to be a heel.
Okay.
Typically, heels have more control of the match and more say of what's going on and controlling. I like being able to control the pace and seeing where the match is going, and that's definitely like my favorite part.
Now,
it's great. It's breaking the audience's heart. That's the best part. Or getting them. You get the best reaction when you're a bad guy.
Yeah.
Whether it's negative, you know what I mean? Because if you can get, especially in this day and age, if you can get a fan to react negatively to you and fool them even for a half a second to actually think that what you're doing is bad and actually think you're a bad guy, that's cool. You can't beat that feeling because you know you're doing your job right. Yeah,
and I think it's kind of hard to get the crowd over for you, right? To be a baby face, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, even if you look in today's like cinema, we make bad guys that aren't really truly bad guys. They're only bad guys because it's situational. They give them reasons why they're bad. Whatever happened to bad people being bad people because they're wired wrong or they're just bad, just evil. So in the wrestling audience tends to cheer for bad guys now. So you actually have to convey and make people convinced that you're a piece of trash in order to get them to actually boo you. So I see that as a challenge. Like everyone's like, oh, you can't be a bad guy anymore. Well, I call bullcrap on that because I get a great reaction whenever I go out there. I get fans that constantly come up to me after a show and they go, I know you're not a terrible person, but I want to punch you in the face every time you're out there. You just have this thing about you when you're out in the ring. If you look like a horrible person, I just want to drill you. So that's how I know I'm doing it right.
Yeah. So now, of course, you like being a bad guy. So do you have a favorite cheap shot you like to do to really get the crowd to hate you?
I would have to say the easiest one that I like to use is breaking the eyes, but you just do it in a way that just don't be. I'm not lazy with my shortcuts. I'm not lazy with the ways I take and just it. I always try to be creative and make the people believe what I did and bringing logic to it. That way, when the fans see it, they're like, "Oh, like what a horrible thing to do!" So that's the angle I try to pull. That's the good thing about being in wrestling too, is that you never have the same match twice. Really, you're always creating something new. You have to do repetitive motion. You're not just going through it. You have to think always, because your audiences are different every night.
Yeah. So, Alex, before we wrap up this interview, I have to ask, what has been the best advice you've ever received from a role model that you've met in real life?
I would have to say the best advice I've ever gotten in wrestling was definitely there's actually a couple different terms I've learned that I keep in my head. Is perception is reality. That was from Dr. Tom Pritchard, and basically that means it's like what you put out there. Even in life, like perception is being reality, meaning like what you think of yourself is what people are going to perceive of you. If you walk around like you think you're a superstar and you carry yourself like one, you're going to get that reaction, from people. So, make sure you're always, trying to focus on that. It's a wrestling term, and it's called think, shoot, don't work. And what that means is think of it like a real fight, but make it safe for wrestling. Don't really try to cripple your person, but try to make it look like you are.
Yeah.
Because that basically shows people that they're going to buy what you're selling.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
That's been like my biggest, what I've learned from wrestling.
Well, Alex, I want to say thank you for taking the time to come on my show tonight. And if you're ever here in upstate New York wrestling, I would love to come and watch you wrestle.
Sure. Oh, awesome. I'll let you know. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, and where can the fans follow you on Twitter and follow you along in your wrestling career?
You can follow me on Facebook.com, the Alex Chamberlain, and you can also follow me on Instagram with same thing, the Alex Chamberlain, Chamberlain _MC.
Okay.
Is my main one.
Okay, great. Thank you again, Alex, for coming on my show tonight. Okay, Feuzion, I just wrapped up that interview with professional wrestler Alex Chamberlain. I'll be back here live at 8 p.m. with Billy Body, all the way from London, England, across the pond. Okay, Feuzion, thank you for watching. Follow me on Twitter at AlexFuse. Always be a subscriber of Fusion News. I'll be back here live in less than 15 minutes. It's going to be a good show. Thanks for watching. I will see you very soon.